Hey guys, Evan here with the Comet DIY. Wanted to give you a quick channel update. Wanted to apologize for not posting a lot of content over the last couple of years, just with work and family and everything. Just life got really busy. But now I'm going to be trying to jump back into the YouTube channel here, and we are going to be trying to pivot the channel over to more of an automotive DIY channel. Hope you guys like the new content. This is going to be our main project right now. This is a 1966 Ford Mustang, and the first thing in order is going to be the rear drum brakes on it. The rear drum brakes have been locking up a little bit, so we're going to open those up and kind of see what's going on with those and go from there. So hope you guys enjoy the new content, and please, if you like this new video coming up here, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. And we'll get working on it. Alright guys, so these are the tools that I'm going to be using for this job mainly. I've got my torque wrench to break loose my wheels. I've got my impact gun to help take off the lug nuts. I've got a hammer in case the drum is stuck. I got a 3/8 wrench as well as a 3/8 socket to take care of the wheel cylinder. And then the most really two important things in this job are going to be this drum brake tool right here. This allows you to get some of the springs off a little bit easier, as well as the spring removal tool as well right here. So these are going to be the two main things you're going to want to get, as well as some pliers, needle nose, stuff like that. If you don't have an extra set of hands, I like to use a clamp to help kind of hold one of the shoes on while we put the springs on, but you'll see all that in the video. Alright, so we got the drum off, and you can see there's a bunch of stuff that's caked up in here. This isn't that bad, but just to be on the safe side, since I have some new parts, I am going to replace the wheel cylinder as well as the shoes and the drum. The drum does have some scoring in it, so let's get going. Alright guys, so you can see we got everything taken apart right here. The next thing to do is I'm going to spray this down with some brake cleaner and get everything cleaned up. Then we're going to work on removing this wheel cylinder. Okay, so the next step, we're going to be removing the wheel cylinder. There is a 3/8 nut on the brake line that we got to loosen up, and then the bolts holding the wheel cylinder to the plate right here is 1/2 inch. So we'll go ahead and remove those next. back here is the 2 bolts that hold that onto there, as well as the brake line that you can see. And that should just pop right off. That's all there is to it. And there's the new wheel cylinder. So we'll go ahead and remove this, and then we'll go ahead and install it. And installation is just the reverse of taking it out. You got to put the brake line in right here, and then these are the 2 bolt holes for that hold it up to the plate. And it's going to go like that. Then I do like to put a little bit of Loctite on these just to be on the safe side. Now, before we can start putting everything back together, we're going to have to take this off of this brake shoe right here. So this usually goes up right about like that. So right here, I don't know if you can see that or not, we have a little clip that we have to open up, and then we can go on ahead and get it off. Okay, so now that we have everything off and cleaned up a little bit, we can go on ahead and start getting ready to put back together our brakes. So now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to grease these little flat spots right here all the way around. And that is where the drums kind of ride on right there, or the shoes ride on it. So we got to put a little bit of grease on each one of those just to help it slide a little bit as it's working. So a little bit right there, a little bit on this one, a little bit right here, a little bit on this one, a little bit on this one down here, and a little bit on this one right here. So it's just a little bit just to help it while it's working there, just to make it a little easier for it. Now, a couple tools that I did forget to mention when we were getting this ready is you will need a flathead screwdriver, as well as probably a hammer, possibly. Reason for that is for the emergency brake, you have a little clip, like a little C-clip that bends around the emergency brake post right here, so you're gonna have to work that off there. All right, guys, so we're about to put on the new brake shoes right here. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the drum brakes, they look very similar, but you got to keep an eye out. One is going to be shorter than the other one. At least on the Mustangs, on the 66 Mustangs, the small one is going to go towards the front of the car. The bigger one is going to go towards the rear of the car. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. All right, so here is the little C-clamp that's going to go around this on the brake shoe. I don't know if you can see that well, but that's it. So that's going to pop through right there, and then this little C-clamp is going to go, or C-clip is going to go right around that, and then you can use a pair of pliers just to get it on down. Now, the ones that were on here before, they were crimped down, so I'm going to do the same thing. You don't have to. I don't know if that's something just that someone did on my car, but since it was like that before, I'm going to do that as well. Now, another thing that you can buy if your hardware is kind of old, you can buy some replacement hardware, springs, and everything else from the local auto store. we have this cable right here, and this is going to go on first, and then it's going to wrap around. There's a little groove for it to sit in, so it's just going to sit right into there. It's going to sit right in this little groove, and then it's going to set right in this little hole right there, just like that. And that's going to go around that, and then this is going to connect to the pieces that'll be down here a little bit later on. So that is that. There we go. So we got so for this is for the adjuster on the brakes. So you're going to have this cable that comes around here. It's going to loop around here. You just got to make sure that it's in the groove right there and it's not behind it or in front of it. And it's going to hook on to this piece right here. Then right in here, I don't know if you can see this, there's a little hole that this is going to press into, this little piece right here on the back. It's going to press in to this little hole right over here. And then you're going to have this spring, which also is going to hook into here. So what I've found easiest to do is to get these connected and then to put this into here. Now you also have your adjuster for your rear brakes. It's going to go in this way. So first what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to open this up. We're going to want to clean out these threads, and then from there we'll put some grease on it so it'll help it be easier for it to adjust. Now what we'll want to do is we'll want to put this adjuster right here underneath, in between the two shoes. Now I got it closed up right now to put it up in here, and then once I have it up in there, I'm going to expand it out to where it stops. Now what we'll do is we're going to go on ahead and take this, connect the spring, and connect this piece right here. Alright, so we got it all back together. We got our main springs right here. We got our new wheel cylinder in there. We've got these springs down here on, and then I don't know if you can see that well down here, but right in here is the adjuster, that plate. There's a spring that comes up and connects to this plate, and then this cable comes. Let's see if we can get a better light right here for you. So there's the adjuster down here. Then you have this plate that the adjuster catches on,
And then you have the cable that comes up and wraps around this and goes back up to the top up here. And then this spring connects over to this side, and that kind of ties everything in together with the drum brake system. The next step is we're going to go on ahead and start fitting our drum onto here, and we want to make sure that it has a little bit of drag, but we can still slide it on and off easily. So since it still slides off pretty easily, we're just going to tighten it up a little bit. You can either use your fingers, or if it's a little bit stiff, you can use a flathead screwdriver down here.